EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada, where the memorial torch honoring legendary owner Al Davis has just been lit, and we are set for football at Allegiant Stadium. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Prime Time. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And it certainly hadn't taken Herbert long to earn his status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. Locked and loaded at every snap. And the second he sees an opening, that ball is soaring downfield. You better be on your toes against him on defense. The second you turn your head, he'll burn you.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
That's into the hands of the rookie from Ole Miss. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
To the left side, he's got McConkey. It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another. That's going to set up first and goal.
Hampton will take this into the end zone for a Charger touchdown. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
And for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead.
Makes the score.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. Able to slither by. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And a glance here at the veteran who will be leading them. Now in his 8th year in the NFL.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And he stopped immediately there.
The tackle by Denzel
credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Once again, it's Genty. And nowhere for him to go again. They'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. 1 yard and now no yards. Have them looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down. Mendoza is going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game. Watching him try to take away that area of the field.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The drive begins with a carry by Hampton. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Herbert going to give to Hampton. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to run for it with Hampton. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
A 2-yard gain.
I bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
A 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. Back deep for the Raiders is Trey Tucker. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
16 yards.
They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
The result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
A run out of the gun with Genty. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And here's Mendoza from the gun on 3rd down. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield.
The quarterback set.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Herbert off of play action. There'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, and they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll work inside here, Hampton. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stumped it.
Oh, he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the defensive penetration there blew that play up and got him 2 points.
How about how they got off at the snap of the football, got upfield into the backfield, and created the big play? That's the key to everything.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. This will be fielded at the 17. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
They've
had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Mendoza throwing to start the drive. Into space at the 45. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
He was brought down.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. This is 2nd and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. On the handoff, it's Lowry. And he'll be close to a first down at the Chargers 38.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. It's a quarterback sneak. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it. Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Pass complete to Naylor right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Jalen Naylor, 36 yards. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
When we drop defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead now moves to 9-7.
Makes the score Raiders 9.
That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Oh, good return up past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. The Chargers getting set to go. And things have changed since the last time they had it. The safety led to the touchdown, so now they find themselves behind as they begin with a 1st and 10. looking to put a drive together. They'll start it out with a run by Hampton. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Taken down at the 43.
So people playing defense in this one. There's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Herbert. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. There's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Now it's Herbert. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
It's taken in by Quentin Johnston. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
15 yards.
Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Herbert. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Rondé Gadsden, 33 yards. And the Chargers are once again back in front.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Dicker now to tack on the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now here come the Raiders. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Got a man, and he hits it in stride. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Well, they run the option on second down. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
15 yards. And the Las Vegas first down. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
It's now third down and 14.
The Raiders on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is third and 14. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. That's to the left side where he's got Miller. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42.
Brings up fourth down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a fourth down.
Cole now on to punt, and he sends this one away. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line.
16-yard line.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
13 yards on the play.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
At the 28-yard line.
Here's Herbert. They'll check this one down to Hampton. 2 yards on the pickup there. And third and 8 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Here's Herbert. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up fourth.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. The Raiders offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points, and especially if this is going to be their final possession in the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Mendoza. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Tucker. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
2nd and 6 at the 50-yard line.
2nd down and 6 now. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That one complete to Naylor. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts.
A gain of 6.
As they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Room to maneuver at the 35. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5. Open man is Naylor. He's got it. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Another Raiders first down. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Looking to throw. Mendoza. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now Mendoza operating from the gun. Touchdown Raiders! Brock Bowers from 17 yards out. And the Raiders will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So the potential could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 2. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Chargers going to take over here one more time before the half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And that's dropped underneath to Mitchell. They'll give him 4 yards there. And it'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 35-yard line.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome into the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you on an abridged halftime report. Good competitive first half. This game kind of has a punch-counterpunch feel to it, as reflected on the scoreboard. Tight game going into the second half. Can either team pull away? To find out, let's go back to the stadium and our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this one is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Mendoza. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. That's to Naylor once again. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Chargers' 45-yard line.
Off the play fake, Mendoza. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Here's 3rd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Tucker hauls it in over the middle. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 40.
It's a gain of 11.
11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
Las Vegas, first down.
Whenever we
First
talk
and 10
about
at the
moving the sticks and
40-yard
controlling the
line.
football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 22-yard line.
And the Las Vegas
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
1st and 10 at the
He's certainly done a
22-yard
nice
line.
job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Back to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jack Bush, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Gay is on for the point after. And that makes it a 9-point game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Herbert now. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. And this is taken in at the 5. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A big play there for L.A. 68 yards.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what, third down, all you're thinking is, what can we do to keep this drive going to get enough yardage to move the sticks? You're certainly not thinking about taking this one almost the length of the field, but that's exactly what happens here. What a play, and what a change of fortunes.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a third down and goal. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Now Herbert, third and goal. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Trey Harris, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers are back within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead is down to 2.
23. Chargers.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
looking to put a drive together. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On first down, it's Genty. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And his pass incomplete.
Intended for Brock Bowers. Incomplete. Makes it 3rd down and 12 yards to go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Mendoza. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 43. 12 yards on 3rd down as the drive rolls on.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Looking to throw. Mendoza. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
A give out of the gun to Genty. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19.
Taken down at the 19.
43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 2nd and 3. Now he'll tuck this and run. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
1st down. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Mendoza. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Raiders will add to their 4th quarter lead.
So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now conversion to make it a 2-score game and a solid lead.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side complete. That's Johnston. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
1st down, here's Mitchell.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Now 2nd and 5. Up the middle, it's Hampton.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now it's Herbert. That is caught. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st down, it's Hampton.
Taron Johnson made the stop.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Herbert. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hampton. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's now.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making play.
Oh, the snap, a poor one, and this is blocked. But, Charles, you cannot say enough about that play by their special teams. Think about it. That keeps this game at 2 possessions in the second half and really adds pressure to the opposition.
Yeah, it certainly does, especially their offense, and takes a lot of pressure off the offense of the team that's leading. They got a little bit more of a cushion to play with now. How about the thanks each guy was getting as they came off the field after that block? Special teams, certainly special in that situation.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Ashton Jeanty, 59 yards. And the Raiders take the block field goal and convert it into 6 points.
How about the vision on the run here? This one's intended to just be a straight dive up the middle. But once he gets through traffic, he sees that the open space is to the outside, so he's just going to angle himself out wide and win the race to the pylon.
Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2.
The Raiders will line up.
Now a toss going left. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of set you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Matt Gay.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Nifty move. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. Maybe a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Herbert. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Giving back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
First down. A gain of 16 yards. First down, Chargers.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only able to gain a couple there. And it's second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, they'll run with Hampton. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
13 yards.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Here's Herbert. On the out route, he finds Johnston. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2nd down and 3. Looking to throw. Herbert. Open man, it's Johnston. Touchdown, Chargers. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Makes the score.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
28.
And it was Quentin Johnston who finished that drive off with a touchdown grab. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
A run straight ahead with Genty. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Tui Pelotu, he got in there and met him behind the line of scrimmage. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It'll go down as a gain of 6. Third and 7 now. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
I got him.
Mendoza now from the gun on third down. He'll try and do this himself. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Up the middle, it's Genty. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
2-yard line.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. Keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Raiders are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the second time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Extra point by Gain is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Chargers offense and Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Charger drive about to get going. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a first and 10 as they search for a late score. Screen play setting it up for Mitchell. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Throwing again on second down. Herbert. He's got the tight end. That's Gadsden. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It's now second and
I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Herbert throwing again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. They will run forward with Hampton. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
At the 16-yard line.
Second down and a yard. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Chargers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. To the air again, Herbert. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Lad McConkey from 8 yards out. And the Chargers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Celebration time tonight on the Strip as we say so long from Las Vegas.